Okay. So I grew up in a Catholic household. I was raised in a religious household. And up until high school, I think I was just going through the motions. I went to church on Sundays, prayed at night, and read the Bible. But I never really understood completely what that meant for my life, and it never really transformed me. End of middle school, so right before I started high school, I went on a mission trip, and that's where I really learned what it meant to be a follower of Christ. I saw all these people who were just so passionate about living their lives for God, and I wanted that. And that's where I gave my life over to Jesus, and my life has been different ever since. I came to college, and I moved from a very small town to the Twin Cities. So it was a really big transition for me, and it was a little rough at first, and I think I got lost in everything in starting college and moving to a big city and being away from my family. And again, after a few months, it felt like I was just going through the motions again. And I didn't feel like I was growing. I felt like I was pretty stagnant, and I didn't want that. Junior year, I discovered Jacob's Well, and it was there that I felt like I stopped going through the motions. I decided to be baptized for a number of reasons. I was a little skeptical at first, just because I felt like I had already been baptized. I grew up Catholic, and I started praying about it, and I think that even though I've been a Christian for a really long time, I think it would be a really good way for me to sort of declare that to the world. It'll serve as a symbol for me that I can look back on and say, this is a point where I gave my life over to Jesus again, and this is where I declared that. And in times where I might be facing a difficult situation or facing temptation or something like that, I can look back on being baptized and remember what that meant, and remember that I was being made anew in Jesus. What I would say to somebody who is considering it, who's sort of on the fence about becoming a follower of Christ, or who doesn't know Jesus yet, that it's worth it. It can involve a lot of changing your ways, or a lot of sacrifice, a lot of doing things differently, a lot of standing out in the crowd and that sort of thing. But it's something that's worth it, because it will change your life, and it's made me a much better person. It's made me a happier person. And I feel like I always have somebody to depend on. So even when life is crazy and I don't know what's happening and I don't know where I'm going to be living in 6 months, I know that God's plan for me is constant, and that He knows what my life is going to be, and that He's going to take care of me no matter what. So I think that even though it's a really scary step for everybody,